Here are 4 development projects happening right now in Lake Oswego. Now you're gonna wanna be in the know because we're gonna go in depth on these 4 projects. Let's go. I'm Aaron Cullen, this is Brian at Cullen, and together we have a local real estate company right here in Lake Oswego. I'm excited to talk about these 4 projects, and today we're standing in front of one of them.
So people have mixed feelings about development, and I think rightly so, because it's a balance between preserving what's already working with growth and progress. So let's talk about where we think these projects fit into that.
Okay, so here we are. This is a 3-phase project. Now the first phase is the skate park, and everybody here knows this as the skate park. So if you talk about the skate park, everyone's gonna know what you're talking about.
So this opened just this summer in June of 2024, and we're here on a school day in the fall, so it's not super crowded, but if you drive by here on the weekends or after school, it is full of skateboarders and scooters and cyclists and skaters, like having a great time here.
Yeah, and you will see people of all ages, you know, and actually I think there's probably more adults taking advantage of this skate park than there are kids, but you will see kids out here, everything from like roller skates to the
little scooters, razor scooters,
skateboarders, and as you can see right behind us, a mountain biker right over here.
So this is phase 1 of the project, the skate park. I think this project has been underway for a long time and with a lot of input from the community, and I think mixed feelings because there is a really beautiful neighborhood just to the north of us, Atherton Heights, and from up there, you know, I wonder how they feel about this development. It's gonna bring a little noise. This is like a super beautiful, peaceful part of Lake Oswego. We're right here on the southwest kind of corner of Lake Oswego, across the street from Lesher Farm. And as you can see behind us, this is like gorgeous rolling farmland. So the city is really developing this outer edge. And the skate park is just the very beginning. There's also going to be phase 2, which is more multi-purpose fields.
Yep, right back there.
For families in Lake Oswego whose kids play sports on multi-purpose fields, they would tell you that there aren't enough of them. Like it's hard to get game schedules coordinated. There just isn't enough room. And so this is really intended to help with that. And then phase 3 are walking trails and a playground, more of a family area. I think right now the skate park, people are excited about it who are into a skate park, but not everyone is. So I think it really remains to be seen how this development is used once the other phases are completed.
And I was really excited about this project. You know, I thought, hey, putting in a playground, that's great. Putting in a multi-use field for sports for the kids is great too. But I really had mixed feelings about the skate park, and so did a lot of residents. I think a lot of people were like, hey, what are we spending all this money on a skate park for? Because, I mean, it cost millions of dollars to build this skate park. The city hired one of the top-notch California skate park designers and had their crew put it all in, which when you look at a skate park, it doesn't seem like a lot. It's just a bunch of cement, right? I mean, it costs millions of dollars to make this happen, but it's here and it does look cool. I will say it does look cool. So I'm gonna try to get our kids out here at some point.
Yeah, they're into it. We're in Cannon Beach a couple of weeks ago, and there's a little skate park in the city park there, and they're so into watching.
Personally, do you think this was like a good development project, or does it cut in to the serenity? I'll just give my quick 2 cents because I love Lesher Farm and how quiet this section of Lake Oswego is. I kind of had mixed feelings. Like I always like the idea of having the development projects, but you know, I don't want to say it's not a my backyard type of thing because I do live in Palisades right over here, but I love how quiet it is. And so I was kind of worried, and I still am a little bit, like traffic and all this extra use and commotion going on over here once the fields are open and playground and skate park all right here, and all that extra traffic right across the street from Lesher Farm where you can go to have a peaceful walk. There's lots of fields up there that they mow so you can walk your dogs. It's all farmland that was donated to the city. It has to be preserved as that. They already have a sport field over there. So I kind of had mixed feelings personally. I didn't want to like disturb the quietness over there. And you're kind of right at the edge of Lake Oswego, so it feels very quiet and protected here. I'm kind of 50-50 on this one.
Lesher Farm is truly one of my favorite things about living here. And not only Lesher Farm, but what you can't see is that Up behind some of the homes over here is Cook's Butte Park, which is like I hike in there almost every day.
Yeah.
And then Stevens Meadow, just under Cook's Butte, is another just like picturesque nature scene right on the edge of town. And then again, Lusher Farm, which is community gardens, community supported agriculture, and then some fields that like feel like you're walking through the moors of England over there. It's so peaceful and serene. And so I truly don't want anything to disturb what it feels like to be at Lusher Farm.
And it's going to.
It's going to get louder over here.
Yeah.
But I think I was mostly relieved because there was talk when we first moved here of putting this on that side in those fields behind Lusher Farm. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
To me, this was like a relief that it's on this side.
Yeah.
Again, I think it really remains to be seen once the full project is complete, how it's used and how much it's used. You know, we've seen other parks that have been refinished or finished, and at first it's really well used, and then that sort of trickles down, which maybe it won't be as populated and as noisy as people are worried about. But hopefully it's worth it to the community and people appreciate it.
Okay, let's go on to project 2. This is the Lake Oswego Municipal Golf Course. Now this used to be an 18-hole golf course. In the process of converting it to a 9-hole with an enhanced, longer driving range. So here's the deal. They're basically taking away 9 of the holes and converting a huge portion of that into this Lake Oswego Aquatic Center, which that's gonna be number 3 we'll get into. We'll keep this short on the municipal golf course because there's not a whole lot to tell other than, it's gonna be scheduled to open in February of 2025. That target's been moving. It was supposed to be this summer, so we'll see. They still got a lot of work to do. I have a bunch of dads in my Lake Oswego Dads group that I run. They're really excited about this golf course. If you live here, you're thinking of moving here, and you wanna join, go ahead and reach out to me. We're always looking for new members. We meet once a month.
Well, I don't blame them because there's really nowhere else to golf in Lake Oswego other than the private country club. If you're a golfer, this has been closed now for a number of years in order for them to go through with this project. People are gonna be so, I think, just like relieved for it to reopen.
The aspects about this golf course they're looking forward to is that it's gonna be a par 3. So it's not gonna take that long to do the course, which just means it's a little bit shorter.
It's like that course we used to do in the Los Feliz.
And yeah, I think it'll be better than that one. Yeah, it'll be like par 3 and par 4s. We'll see once they finish it out. It's gonna really integrate, so I'm curious to see how they finish that off with the clubhouse with the aquatic center. So they'll all kind of be in the same little area with the pro shop that they'll have there, kind of mixing in with the golf course.
That's where you'll actually reserve golf in the reception area of the gym and the aquatic center.
And back behind the aquatic center, kind of looking out over the greens and that driving range area, they're gonna have a bunch of picnic tables, bring lunch, just hang out, have a coffee, just kind of relax out there, which I think is also gonna be kind of nice to have.
Yeah, I agree. And just for perspective, this is right down the road from the park that we were just talking about. So this is all really on this same south end of Lake Oswego, right near Lake Ridge High School.
So the Lake Ridge High School students, they're gonna be able to have the use of the aquatic center and the golf course. I'm sure the golf team's gonna be using it. If you're thinking about moving to Lake Oswego and you don't live here, or if you live here in the Palisades area, this is gonna be a real enhancement to like the Palisades and Hallinan area of Lake Oswego because we're here on the southeastern direction of Lake Oswego.
That's right. Let's walk over and check out the aquatic center.
Let's go.
So here we are in front of the construction of a massive recreation and aquatic center here in Lake Oswego. Our 4-year-old would be in heaven with these construction vehicles behind us. This project is slated to open in February of 2025, and the city is already pre-selling memberships. So the plans for this property include a 12-lane competitive lap swim pool and then a recreational swim area, which I think includes like indoor swimming with a slide.
Yeah,
and
it does.
Let me say, for the rainy winter weather here, to have an indoor community pool to be able to take the kids in the winter is going to be really amazing. Cool. And then also significant like weight and cardio gym facilities.
I'm looking forward to that. So that's gonna open at 6 a.m. So I wish it would start at 5, but hey, that's cool.
Yeah, hours are posted to be 6 a.m. until 10 p.m. Also fitness rooms, group fitness classes, yoga, all of that here on site. along with community meeting places. This will also offer swim lessons, which are, highly coveted in a town like this with so many young kids. There will not be childcare. I think a lot of people wonder about that and wish that there would be. In the city's FAQ, they said, sorry, we're not providing childcare. I'm sure they got that question a lot. Membership is already available for purchase, and this will be available both to Lake Oswego residents and non-residents of Lake Oswego. There will just be a price difference. So from what's currently posted, it looks like an annual membership for a Lake Oswego resident will be around $800 a year, and a non-resident for a family, a household. And then for a non-resident household, you're looking at about $1,200 a year. But then there are also like day rates available, so you could just come for the day. And then the other thing that I thought was really interesting is right now they aren't showing that there will be any limit to the number of membership. Curious to see what it's like in terms of occupancy and how busy it really gets.
My prediction, it's going to be very busy at the very beginning and then kind of start to die off, kind of like you do in the new year of any kind of gym that gets really busy.
Yeah, they're going to miss that January opening, but I'm sure there will be like occupancy limits on any given day, but in terms of memberships, they're not going to limit the
So when is it saying it's going to be open?
February.
But we will see.
3 months from now.
If you're looking at the same project I am, I don't think it's going to be done by February.
One other thing I just want to mention is that this building and construction is state of the art. So they really did what they could to create a very durable and sustainable property here. They tried to use recycled and local materials. They pursued like every certification in terms of going green with this property. The roof of the pool area is all solar. It's really a state of the art facility. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, me too. This is a huge development. I'm really happy that they did this project overall. I think this is going to be a real enhancement to the community, especially this side of Lake Oswego, which doesn't have a lot of amenities over here.
We're further from Portland. We're a little further out into the rural side. And so I agree, it's a huge add. It's starting to rain. We're going to go check out our fourth project. And this one is totally different from the others we've been talking about.
Let's go. This is the North Anchor project. We got a big billboard and an empty lot. This is a 77-room boutique hotel, which this town sorely needs. And it also says on the site, we'll see that it's also going to have a certain amount of units that will also be available that will be residential.
As well as mixed use space in the lower part of the hotel on the ground floor with restaurants and possibly shopping.
About 6,000 square feet of that space. I think is a really cool idea to have like coffee shop, restaurants, shops like that, this area I think can definitely use and benefit from.
We're right on the edge of downtown Lake Oswego. Up the hill is First Edition. We're a couple of blocks from Millennial Park Plaza, which is where the farmers market and really the core of downtown Lake Oswego is. So we're just right outside of that, and we have such a lovely downtown. People who come to visit here say it feels like a Hallmark movie, that there's just a lot of charm here in downtown. And so anything to sort of expand that, especially into a corner that's frankly an eyesore. So you're not losing anything by developing this area and making it more usable, more aesthetically appealing, I think is great.
Yeah, let's walk it a little bit so you can kind of get an idea. It's this huge corner lot right here. Right now it's doing nothing. It's this old little commercial building that's completely abandoned. The city owns this land right here. So this project is in partnership with the city. They've had a lot of financial hardship, the company that they've partnered with.
That started during the pandemic, right?
That's right.
So as funding was pulled back.
Yep, their financing fell through. So they've been kind of scrambling, repositioning to get more funding, which they said they're working on right now. So the city has extended their permit. And right now online it says slated to finish in 2026, which is not going to happen. So we'll see what happens. I hope this deal doesn't fall through.
I'm rooting for them. I think it would be a great addition down here.
Yeah, I do too. So we'll keep a close eye on it. We're at B and First Avenue. And again, you're kind of right here at the edge. There's not much else commercial going on over here in this space. You kind of start to get into the residential up there. So I think this would be a really good use. And you can also see right across the street from here in the other corner, there are more commercial buildings that are ripe for redevelopment as well. So this whole corner, I think if they do this boutique hotel, which it really needs, we have clients that come into town. We've had friends that have family coming to town, and there's been multiple people that said, hey, where do I stay? I could really use something to stay. Yeah, here. And especially if it's like right here downtown Lake Oswego.
Absolutely. So let us know what you think of these projects. And if you have questions about what else is happening in Lake Oswego, there's development happening in our school systems, new schools being built and rebuilt, things happening all the time. So if you're curious, if you're thinking about moving here and you want to know what's really happening, please reach out. We would love to chat.
And if you guys enjoyed this video and found some value in it, stay tuned for the next one. Okay. Jeez, honey, get it out of my
It's not on you, honey. It just like buzzed my ears. So
giant bumblebee. He's like, get out of here. Oh, that was all on camera. That was a big bee.
That bumblebee is anti-development.
Nature is trying to say, do not develop this field.